Today in this class, I will provide a complete revision of the chapter, the last lesson, which is a chapter of General English class 12, okay, under AHSSC or ASSEB board. So this class is targeting for upcoming final examination 2025. In this class, I will provide a complete revision of this chapter, which will be helpful for your upcoming exam. If you want to attain, if you want to attempt maximum possibility to attempt any question, you can watch the video till the end. After watching this video, you will build yourself, or you will attain the quality to attain any question or to attempt any question from this chapter. Please note, we are also available on Facebook as well as Telegram. If you want us, if you want our replies, you can message us either in Facebook or Telegram. Both the links are given in the description section. Okay. So without wasting any time, let us move to the chapter for now. Okay. So as you all know, the last chapter, the last lesson is all about French, na? And MML. What happens? French, he comes late for the class, na? He's always late for the class, but that day there was something unpleasant about the class, na? So we will see the brief summary about the lesson. I hope all of you know the lesson a little bit. Those who don't know, you can watch the video till the end. So summary of the chapter is start here from here. Okay, setting and historical context. Okay, where is the story is set? The story is set in the Alsace during the French Persian War. Okay, মানে the story is set in Alsace. Alsace নামৰ জাগা এটাত storyটো set হৈছে আৰু এইটো during the time of French and Prussian War. Okay, so Alsace and Lorraine are annexed by what? Annexed by Prussia. That means Alsace নামৰ city আৰু Lorraine নামৰ দুটা city কি কৰিছে, কোনে annex কৰিছে? Prussia annex কৰি লৈছে. By the time the story is set, both the city were already annexed by the Prussia after the war. Okay, after the war, the party who wins the war, it will annex or it will claim its right to the city. Okay, that likewise Alsace আৰু Lorraine কি হৈছে, আমাৰ প্ৰুচিয়াই কি কৰিছে, কব্জা কৰি লৈছে না. And the use of French language is banned in school. And after what? After annexed by the Alsace and Lorraine were annexed by the Prussians, French were banned in the school. Na? French were banned in the school. The students of the Alsace and Lorraine could not be were not allowed to use French language anymore in the class. That is why the last lesson, that means the last French lesson. Na? The chapter name is the last lesson, that means the last French lesson. Okay. I hope you have understood the meaning of the chapter, meaning of the name of the chapter. The last lesson, that means the last French lesson of this chapter, because the city was already annexed by the Prussian and they were not allowed to continue with the French classes anymore. Okay. France reluctance. France is the character here, main character here. Okay. Two characters are there. Number one is France and number two is MML. Okay. MML is the teacher and France is the student. Okay. France reluctance, that means France carelessness. Okay. French, the young narrator, that means who talks in the story. Okay. Is reluctant to attend school because he was not prepared for the test on French participle. That means France is France or friends. Okay, both are correct. I mean, I am calling it France or friends. Both are correct. Okay, so he is reluctant. That means he is not willing to go to school because he is not prepared for the French participle. That means he was given a homework to study French participle and he was not prepared with it. That is why he did not want to go to school that day. Okay, he contemplates skipping school but overcomes the temptation and heads to class. That means in the beginning he did not wanted to go to school, but with the time he managed himself to go to the school to attend the class on that day, because that was the last lesson of that class. Okay, of this French class, na. So finally he moves towards the class. Let us continue the story. unusual atmosphere in the village. That day there were unusual atmosphere in the village. I'm given the heading only. Okay, if you can skip the heading also. Okay, don't worry, you can skip the heading. So there were unusual atmosphere in the village because French notices a crowd gathered at the bulletin board near the town hall, a place where important announcements were uh, put. What is a bulletin board? Question may be asked. What is a bulletin board? A bulletin board is a place where important announcements were put. Okay. He wonders about the news, but does not stop to inquire further. He wondered about the news. What was the news? On the way to school, French wondered about the news on the bulletin board because many people have gathered in the have gathered before bulletin board. Na? Most of the villagers have come to the bulletin board. He also wanted to go, but he is already late for school. That is why he did not went to or did not go to bulletin board. He wonders what will be the news. What will be the news? He's thinking in his mind that what will be the news. I should also inquire about the news. But he did not go to the news board or the bulletin board because he was already late for the school. Na? French is surprised to find that the class unusually quiet. On other days, what happened? The classes were the classes were what? The student of the class were shouting, singing their song. Na? Likewise, what happened? You also do this, na? তোমালোকে স্কুলত কৰি থাকা না যেতিয়া টিচাৰবোৰ নাথাকে কি কৰে ক্লাছত shouting হৈ থাকে ন but on that day when he went for the class there was unusual quiet contrary to the usual bustling environment. That means মই কি কৈছিলোঁ usually আমি কি কৰোঁ স্কুলত গৈ হাল্লা কৰোঁ ন we shout but on that day there were quiet environment na what is the reason behind the quiet environment? MML the teacher is distressed formally in his Sunday best. The teacher MML is dressed formally in his Sunday best, and elderly villagers are seated at the back, adding to the solemnity. That means on that day, villagers also went to the class to attend the last class, the French class. Okay, the teacher whose name is M. Hamel also dressed formally to his best. Okay, MML announces that this is their last French lesson as orders from the Berlin dictate that only German will be taught in the school. After capturing by the Prussians, there were ordered that from now on, only German can be taught in the school, not the French. Okay. তোমালোকে মন কৰিবা এইবিলাক কুৱেশ্যন আহিব 1 mark কুৱেশ্যন দি দিব যে from now on which language will be taught in the school. Answer will be German in place of French. Na? Earlier French were taught, but now on there will be no French classes. In place of French, there will be German classes. Okay. And this announcement was made by M. Hamel, okay, the teacher of the school. The news shocks Franz and fills him with regret for not taking his studies seriously. Now, at the end moment, Franz's situation is likewise, like us, you all, na? You are thinking that काश मैं पढ़ लिया होता, मैं 2024 का beginning में पढ़ लिया होता, मार्च अप्रैल में पढ़ लिया होता तो आज मुझे ये दिन देखना नहीं पड़ता ना. तो friends also feels with sorrow because for the long year 1 year he neglected his studies. He neglected French because he did not like French. Okay. But now he regrets because this is the end of the class. He regrets that why I have not studied French. Okay, that is the thing that lesson is all about. MML speaks about the beauty as it is a last class of French. That is why teacher MML speaks about the beauty and importance of the French language. In the last class, MML speak about the beauty of the language, describing it as the most logical and clearest of all language. From here also one question can be asked. What describe the dialogue of the teacher M. Hamel, what he speaks about the French language in the last class. Okay, কি কৈছে M. Hamel কৈছে যে French is the most logical and clearest of all language. He comments, may comment that French is the most clearest language of all language. Okay. Uh, he emphasizes that language is a key part of one's identity and culture, urging the villager and the student to never forget it. He requested the villagers and the student to never forget about the French language because it is the identity of their culture. Okay, it is the identity of their culture. Next line. French, who earlier disliked his studies, now listens attentively and regrets his laziness. Now again, he is regretting about his laziness, that why I have not studied a whole year. Okay. He realizes the value of education in feels emotional in connection to the language and his character. Okay. Language and his teacher. Now he realizes that French is a very beautiful language. He should have studied very carefully uh, whole year. Okay. The presence of the elderly villagers symbolizes their regret for not learning the language earlier and their solidarity with MML. Not only French, the elderly villager of the village also put their sadness because they have not also studied the French very seriously earlier. Okay, that is why uh, both the people are what sad, because this is their last French lesson of that period. Na? Let us move to the next page. Their attendance reflects their respect for MML and the French language. As the villagers also gathered to attend the class, it shows that the villagers also respect the language. Okay, not only French or MML, the villagers also respect the language. Okay. MML encourages the students and villagers to preserve their language, stressing that when people are enslaved, holding on to their language is a form of resistance. His words inspire a sense of patriotism and responsibility in the audience. That means MML encourages his audience or the students to keep the spirit to keep in mind that they should not uh, forget about the French lessons, okay? Because it is their identity. It is their identity and culture, okay? Part of culture, okay? As the clock strikes 12, MML unable to speak further due to his emotions. Okay, now MML is filled with emotion and he cannot speak anymore, and he writes this in a blackboard, Vive la France, on the blackboard. Without speaking anything, he has written this line in the blackboard, okay? The story ends with this poignant farewell, symbolizing his love for France, and its language. That means the language of France is French. He is in love with France as well as the language. Okay, here the story ends. Okay. So before moving any further, let me tell you that this one is a paid class. Okay, this will be a paid class. I will be targeting the upcoming exam, and I will provide a complete revision of the chapters on Flamingo textbook and the Vistas textbook of class 12 examination of subject general English. This will be a paid course. If you pay 299 only, you will be able to access these classes. This is a demo class number 2. Earlier, I provided demo class number 1. You can watch both the classes to guess what will be the quality of the class. Please note that quality and the pattern of the explanation of the chapters will be same as discussed in the video. That means quality and the pattern will be the same. If you join this course, you can pay 299, okay, only. So for joining the class, I have provided the link in the description section. If you want to join the class, you can click on the link given in the description section. Okay. Now, let me discuss the textual question of this chapter. What was the French expected? What was French expected to be prepared with for school that day? I have already tell you that French was expected to be prepared with the particles, na? With the participles. French was required to prepare a lesson on participle. That is why he was lazy to attend the school, na? But later on he makes himself to attend the school because he knows that It was the last lesson on French. Okay. His teacher MML had informed the students beforehand that he will be questioning about participle that day. That is why MML was uh, not eagering to attend the school on that day, right? Next question. What did French notice that was unusual about the school that day? Answer will be French observed something unusual about the school atmosphere that day because typically the start of the school was marked by a lot of noise, activity, audible even the street from even from the street. Now, likewise, what happens in your case also, you start the day with shouting and crowd. Okay, that is not your fault. Everybody does. We also did. Na? However, on the day, the school was a silent, a Sunday morning. Even though French arrived late, MML did not reprimand. That means he did not scold him, right? Which was unlike unusual. Furthermore, French noticed some villagers occupying the back benches of the classroom. Let me summarize what are the things that was unusual that day. First is there was no crowd in the morning hours, unusual day. Second is he was late for the school, but his teacher did not scold him for this act. Lastly, what happens? The villagers also they are on that day because of the last lesson. Na? Because of the last lesson, the villagers also sitting in the classroom on that day. Unlike other days, na? In other days they were not attentive in the classes, but on that day they were attentive on the class. Right. Question number 3 will be what had been put on the bulletin board that morning? Answer is important notice and public announcement were usually displayed on the bulletin board over the past 2 years, but the board had been a source of bad news on that day, such as information about the lost battles, military draft, and other order from commanding officers. French speculated about the kind of news that might have been posted there that morning. That means French was imagining or French was eager to know what kind of notice were there on that day. Okay. What is a bulletin board? Bulletin board is a place where important notices are put. Okay. Question number 4. What changes did the office order from Berlin cause in school that day? Answer is the directive or the order from the Berlin caused considerable dismay within the school. It was announced that lesson where the last lesson they were attending would be the last in French. As German was to be replaced French in school across Alsace and Lorraine, this decision deeply affected MML and the students who suddenly became aware of the importance of their native language. That means French was replacing by German on that day. Na? That is the last lesson for the school. Please note that you can change the language of the answer, but keep in mind that you should keep the grammar as it is as well as the spelling as it is. Okay. It is not necessary to write the exact answer in the question in the examination, but you should keep in mind that answer should be a logical one. Okay. How did French feelings about MML and school change? France's perspective towards MML and school underwent a profound transformation. The announcement from Berlin evoked a sense of patriotism in him. His books, which he had once regarded as a nuisance, now seemed like old friends. French developed a newfound admiration for MML, forgetting his strict demeanor and tangy attitude. That means he is in love with French as well as MML because he realizes that it will be the last day where MML is teaching them French. Okay, French language. Question number 6. The people in the story suddenly realizes how precious their language to them. What shows you this? Why does this happen? Answer is the people in the story came to understand the significance of their language when an order from Berlin mandated the teaching of German in school of Alsace and Lorraine. This directly led to a wave of patriotic sentiments among the locals, but both the teacher and the student displayed a sense of attachment to their language. MML referred to French as the most logical and beautiful language in the world, and French too became emotional regarding that he could no longer learn of it. Next question. French thinks, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? What could be this? What could this mean? Answer is French's statement, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons, reflects his deep sense of frustration and helplessness. It signifies his belief in that while Germans could impose their language on the people, they could not erase the natural connection the local had their mother tongue. Just as pigeons sing their natural melody, people to have an inherent bond in their language they cannot forcibly change. That means when the Alsace were putting German forcibly, he thinks that it is not what possible to change their mind. Okay, people who love French cannot forget French fully. Okay, that is the thing. So let me remind you once again that I am starting a revision class on general English subject, which will be a paid course of 299 rupees only. This is a demo class number 2. You can watch this class up to the end, and you can assume that this type of quality and the content will be provided in the paid course, which will be of 299 only. If you want to join the course, you can click on the link given in the description section. Okay. Now, I have prepared a central answer of this chapter. Okay, if you thoroughly answer this, thoroughly study this chapter, you can attempt any answer of this chapter. Okay, I hope you will be attempting any answer of this chapter. So let us read the chapter. Let us read the answer from the starting. The central idea of the story. Okay, this is the central idea of the story. What is the central idea? The central idea of the story, the last lesson, uh, revolves around the themes of love for one's language, patriotism, and the significance of education. The story emphasizes the importance of preserving cultural and linguistic identity and highlights the regret that comes with the loss of opportunities. Please note one thing that if a question for 5 months come, you can use it as an introduction part. Okay, you can use as an introduction part. Okay, doesn't matter the question is same or different, but you can use this part as a introduction. Okay, in the uh, answers also. The story portrays language as a vital part of one's heritage and cultural identity. M. Hamel, the French teacher, stresses the beauty and significance of the French language, calling it as most beautiful language in the world. The Prussian order to replace French with German symbolizes an attempt to strip of people from their language, their cultural roots. The story conveys that losing a language is equivalent to losing a part of one's identity, making its preservation a form of resistance against oppression. Patriotism is another key idea in the story. MML's dedication to teaching until the last moment, his act of writing Vive la France on the blackboard symbolizes his love for the country and culture. The, the presence of villagers in the classroom reflects their regret for neglecting their language earlier, their solidarity in the face and cultural loss. The story teaches that true patriotism lies in the cherishing and preserving one's language, culture, and values. Education is portrayed as a beautiful tool for resistance and empowerment. MML explained that knowledge and languages are essential to maintain one's identity and resisting subjugation. The story conveys that education enables people to sustain their heritage even under political oppression. That means story says that if you get any pressure from political background, the language is the main key who will help you in this regard also. Through the character of French, the story also highlights the universal theme of regret for misused opportunities. French regrets for not taking lessons seriously, realizes the importance of education only when it is about the taking away. Similarly, the villagers' attendance at the last lesson signifies their remorse for neglecting the importance of their earlier classes. In conclusion, the last lesson reminds of a timeless value of cultural preservation, the importance of education, and the need of seize opportunity before they lost. It conveys a powerful message about the resistance, the role of education, and shaping the society. In short, we can say that education is the main key to form a society. Okay. So in the end, I am once again reminding you that I am starting a revision course for the upcoming exam, which is a with a minimal fees of rupees 299 only. If you want to join the class, you can click on the link given in the description section. Thank you for watching. If you have any query, you can message us on Telegram or Facebook page. You will get instant reply from us. Thank you all.